Recording. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, MJ's Place. This is MJ, and I am back this week with another video. So this week, as promised, you and I are going to discuss budgeting. So these are just some tips for financial freedom with MJ. Again, as I stated in my first video, definitely on that wealth building, health building journey. So we're just gonna go through this together. As always, I appreciate support, so please like, subscribe, and share. All right, let's get started. So, budgeting. What is the budget? Budgeting is the process of creating a plan to spend your money. This spending plan is called a budget. Creating this spending plan allows you to determine in advance whether you will have enough money to do the things you need to do or would like to do. So, pretty succinct. We've all, heard one of the first things to do is to budget, especially when you're planning for a large expense. But budgeting is a great way just to be organized overall financially. There's no secret to wealth building in the sense that one of the first steps to make money is to organize, your money. One analogy I heard was that money would be like a soldier, right? The more structure it has, the better it performs for you. So budgeting is important. So we're going to go through a couple of different examples. We're going to have weekly budget, monthly budget, daily budget, and then from there we'll just kind of wrap up with a couple different comments, and I'll have a question that I would like for you to answer for me in the comments. So again, this is what we're going to do next. We're going to talk about why budgeting is important. So since budgeting allows you to create a spending plan for your money, it ensures that you will always have enough money for the things you need and the things that are important to you. Following a budget or spending plan will also keep you out of debt or help you work your way, out of debt if you are currently in debt. So true. Especially like if you're like myself and you're on the path to home ownership and you're, cleaning up all those loose ends. It's like, you're like, oh my goodness, you're trying not to have to eat, noodles for, the next amount of time. But having a budget lets you know exactly where you need to either tighten your belt, maybe where you can allocate funds or deploy capital to, if you will, in order to execute whatever plan it is that you have in place. Like I said, if you're saving for a home down payment, or building up your credit by repaying some things, budgeting is super important to help keep you on task in order to get that done. So we're going to move on to the next slide, and we're going to talk about types of budgets. So we have a daily budget. It's a simple record of daily expenses like meals and other day-to-day items, useful if you have fluctuating expenses each day. This is also good to you, like if you're a person who maybe like gets paid daily, maybe you're like, your own entrepreneur, maybe like you're into cleaning or something like that, and it's sort of like a pay-as-you-go service. Daily budgeting, super helpful just to kind of keep you organized, especially if you need to do things like fill out mileage reports or something like that. It can really be a great tool for you. So some examples, of that is if you had like a $50 spending limit, maybe you spend $30 on food, $20 on transportation. Obviously you don't have any room to do anything else in this budget, but you can see very clearly that either you need to move more money towards your daily spending or cut back on food. So budgeting, allows you to have that full visibility for sure. Another type of budget, we're going to talk about our weekly budgets. So a weekly total of funds in and out, useful for those who get paid on a weekly basis, and it's great for families, can forecast for short-term needs more accurately. So if you're keeping a weekly budget, and like I said, if you're getting paid every week, maybe you get $500 a week, of course we're going to pay ourselves first. We're also going to put money into our savings. If you're a tither, of course, you'd have your 10% out for that. and you have your food, you have your transportation, etc. So what you basically do is you kind of just total out. Another thing that's useful too is if you are in a spreadsheet, so you can do things like Google Google Sheets. You can do Excel. Really, you can do a simple spreadsheet on Word too. So it just kind of depends on what tools you have allocated. I mean, I come from a generation where we would do stuff on paper, so it's kind of whatever is easiest for you in that sense, and it's going to keep you organized. Budgets are great too because, like I said, they not only do they forecast for needs more accurately, they can tell you maybe where you're making some mistakes, or prepare for, like I said, short-term needs. Like, let's say, for example, you get a bill that you weren't looking for in the mail. Maybe if you're keeping a more regular budget besides on a monthly basis, you can kind of see that you'd obviously need to kind of move some things around to take care of that. So again, not to belabor the point. But I want to kind of be a little granular because it really is one of those things that has helped me, get in a much better financial place. Um, it just works. It's just one of those things that works. The more organized you are with your life overall, it just produces so much better results. So again, this is weekly budgeting. All right, so we're going to move on to the more common budget, and that's a monthly budget. So we say most common budgeting formats. It is a monthly sum of monies in and out. These figures are best suited when applying for credit, working with an advisor, or looking for a home. Calculations such as DTI, so that's debt to income ratio, or your PTI, that's projected total income, are based off of your monthly budget, and is very helpful when determining overall financial health. So anyone who knows anything about, if you've ever even gone for a loan, right, what do they want to know? Either they'll ask you what your annual income is, or but usually specifically they want to know what your monthly expenses are. Well, how will you know what your monthly expenses are if you don't have a monthly budget, right? It's one of those things where it determines your credit worthiness and a lot of other things that you may want to do or need to do. So super important. We see if we have $3,000 in income, you have $1,000 in rent, so obviously you have $2,000 left over, and then you take away the $400 for utilities, so you have about $1,600 left, etc., etc. So again, and the more granular you are, the better results you'll see. I'm doing this super high level, super simplified, but budgeting and knowing where you stand financially is really the key to being truly financially free. And when I say financially free, I don't necessarily mean that you have no debt. We know that there's a difference between, good debt and bad debt and so on and so forth. But, starting off with something like a monthly budget, just breaking down, this is how much I have per month, and this is what's going out, is a great, great tool, guys. And, again, it's helped me tremendously. As we learned last time, right, we're controlling our expenditures, and this is the start of that. So a couple tips for good budgeting. We want to be honest with ourselves, right? If you are a shopper, you're a shopper. Put a number to that. How much do you spend on clothes? Be flexible. Prepare for emergencies. Prepare for maybe something that you need to pursue or take care of on the fly. And or even better, be prepared for extra income, right? Don't we love getting extra money in that budget, so be flexible on that for sure. Pay yourself first, super important. A portion of everything you make is yours to keep. um Very important, because guys, if you don't pay yourself first, you're the one who has to live with yourself. So make sure that you always put yourself in your budget. That has nothing to do with your shopping. To be honest, and again, this goes back to point number one. I was speaking with someone and we were going over some numbers, and I realized that I was spending more on takeout than I was on actual groceries. I was appalled. So that's what I mean when you have to be flexible and be honest with yourself. Obviously, I need to be maybe paying myself more or something like that. So don't be selfish. Don't tell yourself that you can't pay yourself. I'm telling you, yes, you can. Look for resources to help organize your finances. Again, using Google Sheets, Excel, things of that nature, where you'll be able to organize your finances, and just doing something really simple, MJ's February budget. I write mine out, and that's how I keep mine organized. So whatever you need to do to get it done, definitely look for those resources for sure. You want to create sub accounts to encourage saving habits. So, sub accounts are super cool. Any financial institution, be it online or physical, will have that option for you. So definitely look into that. If you can put anything into something that earns interest, that's always the best thing, right? We want to be paid interest. We don't want to pay interest. So, always look for those things as well. And then, to segue right into it, look for ways to increase capital, right? If you're noticing that your budget is looking a little tight, and these things that you have in there are not expendable, then you need to use your inner mind, right? Use that creative brain and start to think of ways to generate capital. Maybe it's something as simple as a skill that you have that can bring in some extra revenue. Perhaps it's maybe you're a hairstylist, maybe you do nails, maybe you sew. Whatever it is that you do, I bet you anything to anything that there's a number value to it. Put a number to it, and then get after it, and add more to that budget. So, in conclusion, basically, the bottom line is you have to start from somewhere. Keep it as simple as you can, and you can get more advanced with it later. And just remember that it's always for your betterment. You're worth the effort, so put that effort into you, and you will reap the benefits. If you have any questions, or you would like to get in touch with me, my email address is mjstudiodesign@protonmail.com. I will put that in the description for you. And also, you can leave a comment. I appreciate all of the love and all of the support. I do want you to answer a question for me in the comments, and that's, do you budget? Do you currently budget? And if so, what kind of budget do you use? Do you do a daily, weekly? And, have you seen benefits from that? So, that's this week question. Are you a budgeter, and how, and, two-parter, and how have you benefited from it? Okay. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Have a great day.